all this type of thing, like the Bobo Shanties are telling us. I asked them, why did King Emmanuel meet Haile Selassie wearing white glove? They said no, because Haile Selassie was shedding a lot of blood as a soldier. So King Emmanuel is the high priest, Melchizedek is pure. He did not want to deify himself or defile himself. He put on the white glove. Now, if you want to think in that particular thing, you are already elevating Emmanuel in terms of holiness and purity above Haile Selassie. And it makes sense why you will say Holy Emmanuel Haile Selassie I Jah. It makes sense why you will have the picture of Emmanuel above the picture of, how do you say Haile Selassie is God? Because when you say he's God, it's a deification. God is a deification of an individual. Mm-hmm. Once you deify an individual and say this individual is a God, you raise him above the level of other ordinary humans. You don't see him anymore as a member of the Ethiopian church.
That is aligned to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and most of Rastas who are aligned to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church would say that they're only aligned to the church because His Majesty is Ethiopian Orthodox Christian. Or do I view that? Do you have to align to the church to say you are Rasta?
No, you don't have to. I mean, look, my father was a bishop, my own father, Christian bishop. And I don't have to be part of his church in order to see him as my father. It's not a prerequisite for him to be my father. He's my father because he's my father. It doesn't matter what religion is in. Now, this is a mistake that Rasta is making, because from the moment you say Haile Selassie is God, is what they call deification. I think the problem with Rasta is Rasta is involved in the high consciousness, high theological stuff, mostly theological stuff, because they gotten themselves into theology, reading of the Bible and so forth, higher metaphysics, but they're not equipped to deal with all of that, with theology, with metaphysics. One of the reasons I stopped reading the Bible, it was at the Ethiopian Orthodox Church School in Addis Ababa at Ulfeme Salamia. I was given a scholarship between 2004 and 2008, but I studied from 2004 to 2006. I was given a scholarship for 4 years to study theology. But I wanted to study languages. I was not so into theology. That was one of the reason I went to Ethiopia. But one of the things I learned is that for anyone, before they stand before you and read the Bible for you, they must go to study the interpretation, what they call tergums in Ge'ez. They must study the terguame for 4 years of the Old Testament and 4 years of the New Testament. For you to stand up and open the Bible, which is the Old and the New Testament, you should have studied the translation for 8 years, because the Bible, it is not written in the layman's language. The Bible is written in similes, in allegories, in symbolism, and so forth. So Rasta come and read the Bible literally, when it is not written literally, and interpret it literally, and find himself into this biblical theological literalism. And this is the biggest challenge that Rasta is facing, and you don't understand. Number two, it is not a necessity for Rasta to become part of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church in order to declare the divinity of His Majesty. That is not how Rasta began. Leonard Howell was a former member of Gavin movement of UNIA, when he declared Rastafari, he was not a former member of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, or he was never a member of the Ethiopian Orthodox, but he is known historically to be the first Rasta. So the first Rasta did not have to be part of the church in order for him to see the divinity of Haile Selassie. But also, point number 3 is that from the moment you say Haile Selassie is God, because when you say he's God, it's a deification. God is a deification of an individual. Once you deify an individual and say this individual is a God, you raise him above the level of other ordinary humans. You don't see him anymore as a member of the Ethiopian church, because God belongs to no religion. There's no way you're going to say Haile Selassie is God. From the moment you say he's God, you need to understand the concept of godhood. What makes God God? You can't have a God who is a member of a particular religion. In the world of so many religions, is partial. Christian. Haile Selassie said, yes, I am a Christian as a person. But he said, as a king, I am equally a Christian, a Muslim, and a pagan. Now we say, if he is all of that, then he is none of that. Now Haile Selassie is known to be very diplomatic in his speaking. When his daughter was who married the white man, first introduced the white man who was the son of the general, who was part of the forces that helped His Majesty to return to his throne, General Wingate. When General Wingate's son married His Majesty's daughter, His Majesty said to his daughter, don't you think your husband is too white for you? Now that is what we call diplomatic talk. When His Majesty said, yes, I'm a Christian, but as a king. Now change the statement, It's no more, I'm a Christian. It's like, but as a king. Now it moved on to the next level. I am equally a Christian, a Muslim, and a pagan. It's Haile Selassie's speech. But why is Rasta so interested in one part of it, which he say, I'm a Christian? What about the part where he say, I'm a Muslim, and I'm a pagan, which is where we come in. Those who are practicing African spirituality in Ethiopia refer to as pagans. That he identify with Christianity, Islam, and paganism. But in a fundamental relationship of religion, you can't be a Christian and a Muslim at the same time. Let alone to be a Christian and a pagan at the same time, or a Christian and a Muslim at the same time. Now, this now requires higher consciousness. This now requires the mindset, mind over matter, not obsession. You still want to stick on to Christianity when the man told you that I'm also a Muslim. And I'm also a pagan. And most Rastas start to scramble around. Some they said, no, that is a false speech. His Majesty never said that. No. But how do you see your God only belonging to one religion, man-made religion, when your God told you that God does not live in a temple that is built by the hand of man? Isn't it in the Bible that David wanted to build a temple to God and he said, I don't live in a temple built by the hand of man? So what makes you think that the God who does not live in a temple built by the hand of man can live in a book written by the hand of man, or can affiliate to a religion made by the hand of man? You either decide. If you want to see Haile Selassie as Christian, there's no way you're going to see him as God, because God belongs to no religion. But if you want to see Haile Selassie as God, there's no way you're going to see him as a Christian, because God belongs to no religion. God cannot be a God and still be religious. Or God cannot be a God and you proclaim that is the ruler of the universe, but this ruler of the universe belongs to a religion that is not the religion of the universe. No religion on earth is a religion of the universe. In their origin, they were for their people. Jesus of Nazareth, not Jesus of the universe. God of Israel, Jehovah, God of Israel. There's no way in the Bible where Jehovah said he's the God of the universe. He said he's the God of Israel, and he's got his own chosen people. Now, Rastafari transcend boundaries. Rastafari transcend religion. Rastafari transcend creed. And if that is truth, that Rastafari is a transcendental consciousness, there is no way Haile Selassie is going to be a God and a Christian at the same time.
True. True. Rastafari.
Remember, we're the ones who are making him God. We're elevating him to the level of God. There's no way where Haile Selassie said, I am God. There's no way. You know, at best you find speeches where he said he is not Christ. Where he spoke to Bill McNeil, I think 1968, 1966. Bill McNeil asked him, His Majesty, many people worship you as Christ. He said, I am not. And I am mortal, and I shall be replaced by the oncoming generation. But he went on to say, men should not pretend or make a mistake of thinking that a deity emanates from men. Now we need to analyze this thing. These are deep stuff. Deity. Does Rasta think in the concept of deity? No. That's why Rasta dismiss these things. We don't engage this thing, and they bring us to lower vibration and telling us that His Majesty is God and a Christian at the same time. His Majesty is God and a man at the same time. As a man, we have to discuss his marital status. Oh, he was a husband of a one wife, so all of us must have one wife. Although he come from a line of kings, some of them never had wives, some of them had 1,000 wives, you know. And then you are bringing this consciousness to Africa, where most of us in Africa are polygamous. And you're making it difficult for those who are polygamous to accept Haile Selassie as their God, because you are selling the idea of the Haile Selassie, the human, and who must be feared as Haile Selassie, the God. Haile Selassie, the God, cannot be associated with anything that Haile Selassie, the human, is associated with. Christianity, monogamy, all this type of thing. Like the Bobo Shanties are telling us, I asked them, why did King Emmanuel meet Haile Selassie wearing white glove? They said no, because Haile Selassie was shedding a lot of blood as a soldier. So King Emmanuel is the high priest, Melchizedek is pure. He did not want to deify himself or defile himself. He put on the white glove. Now, if you want to think in that particular thing, you are already elevating Emmanuel in terms of holiness and purity above Haile Selassie. And it makes sense why you will say, Holy Emmanuel Haile Selassie I Jah. It makes sense why you will have the picture of Emmanuel above the picture of